Hi guys, welcome back to Days with Dan. So today I've been doing some work on creating some characters for both my comic book and for my writing, because at the moment I'm writing both a novel, hopefully, and also creating a comic book alongside that. So whilst I was creating these characters, I tried several different ways, just to see which ones worked and which ones didn't, because obviously one method isn't going to work for every character, and also one method isn't going to work for me. So I thought I'd just try and show them all off here. The reason I'm showing them off here is because I personally find that I struggle to create characters. I'm not the best at it, and so I thought maybe if any of you are struggling, I thought I'd be able to help you out with this. Because I find a lot of the time that doing the same method of creating a character over and over again becomes tedious or just isn't fun anymore, and that's the whole point of writing an art, it's meant to be fun. And so I thought for any of you that are stuck with characters or just don't know where to start or just want to try a different style, I thought I'd give you these little tips. Before I show off the writing part of this video, I thought I'd just show off what else I've done today, because I went to a football match earlier between MK Dons versus Portsmouth, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm the least sportiest person that I know, and I had no clue what was going on half the time. I probably should have done a bit of research into it beforehand, seen where everyone was in the leagues and such, but I didn't know. Quite frankly, I just went for the atmosphere. It was a free ticket, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to that. So here's some of the clips from the match and the day in the whole. Yeah, but I still have no clue about anything about football, so I'm going to be just cheering as everyone else is. So.
Make sure you don't cheer alongside your feet.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot more Portsmouth fans. I never thought I'd be the type of guy that would come to one of these rooms. Seriously, I don't know anything about football. I just love the difference. You have them cheering, then you have them over there like doing nothing. Right, let's jump into this then. So the first thing you need to decide before you create a character is what kind of character you want this character to be. I find there are four main types. There's the primary character, the secondary character, the metaphorical character, and the support character, or the extra character that you don't really know if you want to use in the story or not. If it's a primary character, you're going to want to focus on this character in your story. It's got to be a character you enjoy writing or drawing, and it's also got to be one that you know well, because they'll be appearing a lot. They also don't have to be confined to your protagonist or your antagonist. They can also be the more secondary characters, such as Ron and Hermione in the Harry Potter series. A secondary character is a character that reappears quite a lot in the story, however is not given an overall character arc throughout. And so they are more generalised characters. They are given a single theme to focus on, or they don't really have anything to make them too unique, but at the same time they have enough to make them unique to those extra characters that I just said to support the rest of the cast. You can add as much development as you want to these characters, but remember you only have to make them slightly unique. You don't have to feel as if you have to give them a whole backstory or as many defining characteristics as you would for the main character, or the primary character. The third style, metaphorical characters, are characters often defined by a single idea or a single figure, if that makes sense. So, a great example of this is in The Great Gatsby by Fitzgerald, in which he has a character called Daisy, and that character is often defined with metaphors as being a money character, a character often associated with wealth. He does this through a characterization through metaphors such as a voice full of money or her golden pencil. And each little bit just makes her become that character that's just associated with wealth on the whole throughout the novel. The fourth type of character can be any of the previous three mentioned before. The only difference is whether you actually use these in the story or not. Because what I find is I often make characters that I don't have a place for in my story. They might have a theme towards them that doesn't fit in, or they might have a certain aspect that has already been used. And rather than throw these away, what I do is I keep all the characteristics and all the development, and I just keep them aside for another story. And that's my only bit of advice. If you do find you create any characters that you don't actually want to use for your story, keep them aside. You never know when you'll use them in future. Once you've picked what kind of character you want, you can then go around creating them and developing the base character or the base build that you want for this character. The first method I used was sketching the characters out. Now, just because it involves drawing doesn't mean it's confined to just artists. Anyone can do this. to begin, I just began to draw a plain body. As you can see, I just have the rough outlines, and from there I then picked a certain aspect to base my character around. So for this character, it was the guitar, and from there she became a musician, and from there I looked up images of musicians and found that she became a shirt person, and then from there I just decided to pick different aspects to define her. If I messed up a proportion, so say with the eye here, and I blackened it a bit too much, I then fit that into the character, and so I made this character accident prone, and from there I made them shy, laid back, but also a lack of organisation, just because they're meant to be lucky. And that's the whole character development behind this character. If a line was too thick or too edgy, I then used it to again define that character. And so here you can see the character lines are edgy, they're kind of sharp, and so you made him the rough character of the group. And so just because you're not the best artist, I'm by no means the best artist, doesn't mean you can't try this method. I just found it gave a bit of help, if that made sense. So if you just do a rough sketch of a character like this, and then any proportions that you accidentally mess up or anything, use that in your art character, use that as a bit of character development, or even just add in an item to the character and just see where it goes. This method is one that works well if you have absolutely zero base to work with, as it inspires new ideas for characters, even if you don't necessarily use them. The second method I used was to become inspired by those around me. By this, I mean I looked at those close to me, or even the strangers on the street, and I looked at their physical and mental characteristics. I then exaggerated the parts I wanted to work with, and added a slight twist. If you have a friend who's always happy, base a character off of that, and exaggerate that happiness, but give a bit of context behind it. So, is it forced, is it due to a past, or is it due to other dimensions of the character? For example, for this drawing, this is just an example drawing, I have a main character here. Now, I have a friend who, back home, who I believe to be quite heroic, however, also quite on their own. And when I say heroic, I don't mean in a conventional way of, he goes around fighting crime. I just mean he fights off his own demons every day. But he isolates himself away, and so when I did this drawing, I exaggerated that. I made him into this hero, and I exaggerated it by also making him on his own on top of this bridge. And this method works well if you already have some sort of characteristic you want in your story. It also allows for a bit of a more dimensional character as you're basing it off of someone. However, if you don't want to base it off of someone, I believe this isn't the route to go down, as this gives more realistic characters rather than fantasy characters, depending on how much you exaggerate the characters. The third and final method I used was more aimed towards characters which already have somewhat of a base for them. For this, I take inspiration from items around me, and what I mean is I look at my objects, even if it's just an object I found online, and once I find something, I then begin to depict the type of person who would use that object, e.g. what's its purpose and can my character have a similar purpose. Take this DS, its purpose is to entertain. Can my character do that? If so, what kind of character will it be? Will it be comedy, or will it just be a cheerful character? Then, kind of clothes will it wear? Will it be cheery clothes? Will it be funny clothes? And how will he act? Will he act as a comedian? Will he act as a class clown? Or will he act as just a generally nice guy? Now keep in mind, these are just some of the unconventional ways that I have found to help me create my characters. They are by no means the best, and they are by no means the only ways. If you have any of ways that you create your characters, and any in particular ways, please do leave them in the comments below. You never know, you might find someone that actually needed a different way that wasn't mine. I myself might even use your way. So, like I said, please leave a comment below with your ways and I will have a look through them. All this was a list just to help with those who just need some inspiration or just need to find a different way of doing it. And so, these are just 3 ways. There are many, many ways that could be done. And that's about going to wrap up today, guys. Thank you for tuning in. If you found this helpful, please leave a like. Any support is appreciated, especially since I've just started off. I just need some support just to guide me in the right direction if what I'm doing is the right thing or what I'm doing is the wrong thing, just because I want your guys' advice. So, and if you like what you see, please feel free to subscribe. Any other subscriber who's new to me is another... Is it there? And if you like what you see, please subscribe. I know my setup's not the best at the moment. I'm trying to play around with lighting. I'm just trying to see what works best. And eventually this will be better and it will be more organised. However, I'm just getting into this. But please leave any support, and thank you guys for watching. Have a good day. I will see you later.